It's time to put your health in your own hands. Get ready to learn from today's top health and wellness innovators and thought leaders on Optimal Health Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really excited to introduce today's guest, Dezi KOSTER. Dezi is on a lifelong mission to help people attain optimal health and wellness for themselves as an individual, for their career and business, for their family and community, and of course, for the environment in which we all live. She was born a natural healer with an innate gift, and she since has worked with Guruji Mahendra Trivedi and really honed her skills and gift as a life force energy healer. And today I'm going to dive right into the interview because we have so much to talk about. And I'm really interested in how this phenomenon known as the Trivedi Effect helps people with business issues, because many people are entrepreneurs, and they want to be successful. Yet, more than 50% of all businesses fail in the first 5 years. And I know that you've done a lot of research, Dezi. So before we get into that, tell me a little bit more about what exactly is the Trivedi Effect as it relates to business, and then just tell me more about this issue about how in the world can I become more successful in business, and how could the Trivedi Effect help me?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for having me today. It really is a great pleasure, and I'm delighted to be here. So with business, Trivedi Effect, as you know, is an amazing phenomena, and it really gives us a boost from the inside out, if you will. With businesses, there was, like you mentioned, there was that study at Harvard Business last year, and they were looking at the failure rate of businesses, by industry. Not only is there a 50% failure rate within 5 years, but by 10 years, 70% of businesses have failed. And the number one reason is things lack of focus. The next reason is lack of motivation, that commitment, that passion for their business. And then the third biggest thing that they found was too much pride. The entrepreneur had too much pride in who they were. They weren't willing to listen, know about any changes. They were taking advice from the wrong people, so they weren't able to be discerning about where they should take their advice. And then, of course, they didn't have enough business knowledge or the right amount of marketing, correct marketing knowledge, that type of thing. And finally, one of the other reasons for failure was raising too much capital too quickly. But overall, the main thing was that it was really in the lap of the entrepreneur. And that's the thing. When you have a business, as you know, it's something that is long-term. There has to be that incredible one-pointed focus. There has to be that incredible commitment, drive, and passion for what you do. And as we all know, life happens. Life happens to us all. And we can get sidetracked, or we can go through some incredible struggle, especially when you're starting out in a business. The first few years, there are so many things that you're traversing. There's so many new things that you might not know about. There might be, ups and downs with vendors that you're dealing with, or you're not dealing with vendors. There might be things about the market that you don't understand correctly, or how to really get yourself focused in on who specifically is your market. So there are so many things that you're learning in that initial phase, and it's very easy to kind of give up hope, or lose the confidence in who you are. So the reason why the Trivedi Effect is so powerful, particularly for business people, is that it does a number of things. First of all, when it comes to that level of confidence, it really helps boost confidence. one of the things I was, like you mentioned, I was looking at research about, what is the impact of self-confidence. And it showed that, looking at a group of women, for example, it showed a huge percentage of women didn't even though they may have completed a degree, they didn't even enter into the business world because they didn't have the confidence in who they were. I mean, that's huge. So people are getting stuck before they get started, or if they're started, they get stumped because they don't believe in themselves, or they don't have that confidence to strive for what it is they want. And I'll give you an example. Before I started working with Guruji and working with Trivedi Global Inc., I did that in 2014 up until mid this year. I was doing business coaching and consulting. And at the time, though, I was receiving these blessings from Guruji. And one of the incredible things was I noticed that there was a ripple effect. So the Trivedi Effect not only is powerful for boosting confidence, helping us to be focused, one-pointed, it helps us to be more discerning so that when opportunities come, we're able to see, yes, this is for me, no, this is not for me. And we're able to have that fearlessness to know when something is the right thing with you without being delusional or overinflating what you think your company is worth. So here's an example. One of my clients was very successful. She had her own business. She'd had it for at least 10, 11 years. Prior to that, it had been a family business. So it had been successful for quite some time. She was at a point where she wanted to sell it. And she had, history of all of the financials. So you could see back how well it was doing, how they could project what it was going to do over the next year, the next few years. So there was all of that information, and it was a very good company, a very solid company. And when she put it on the market, it was time to come to sell it, there were a couple of people that came in. They could see, yes, it was very valuable, but they kind of used bullying tactics with her. They tried to undercut her. They tried to undersell her. And she, because of that self-confidence, at first she didn't really have it. And she, we were working together, and she said, look, I know that it's worth, at least 3 million. This is what I want. They are only offering me 1. And, really, quite frankly, the business is probably worth around 4, maybe 4.5. But we worked, and I said, absolutely not. You're not going to go for 1 million because, that's seriously undercutting. So we worked a little bit, and then she kind of really got that fearlessness about, no, this is what the company's worth based upon absolute facts. This wasn't pie in the sky or delusion. She wasn't going, yes, it's worth 10 million. I think I'll ask for that. She was asking something very fair, very realistic. So she really stood her ground, and she got the 3 million. And the great thing was she got the amount that what she wanted because that was what it was worth. And the other thing that she was going to be doing is she was going to be giving that company, when they took it over, she was going to be working with them for about 6 to 12 months to help them transition. So she was going to be there with their expertise, with everything that she knew to help that transition, that kind of merger really, be very smooth. And that, again, would only enhance the outcome and the income for the new company. So you can see where, in this case, it's vital to have that level of self-confidence. It's something that you have to have. The other thing that the Trivedi Effect does, which is really important, is it makes us, it gives a greater capacity for generating income. So again, the right opportunities come to us. Now, we might have to work a little bit, like in her case, it wasn't just, here, we're offering you the amount you want. She had to negotiate, but she stood her ground and she got what she wanted. So it helps you with being strong in what it is that you want to do. And the other thing is it is very good, of course, about helping you with that, like I said, that focus and that passion. desire for what it is that you want. So that hopefully answers some of the questions.
Well, that tells me a lot about the benefits of the Trivedi Effect. So if somebody, let's say that they just came into our conversation and all of this great benefits about the Trivedi Effect, can you talk a little bit more about what exactly the Trivedi Effect is and how does it work? And specifically, how do you work with people using the Trivedi Effect?
Of course.
Because I know that everyone's there thinking, well, I would love to have greater confidence. I would love to be so discerning that I could stand my ground and get what I'm worth, because it doesn't matter if you are talking about 3 million versus $1 million or $100 an hour versus 50 or even minimum wage versus 20, because anybody, in no matter what walk of life they're in, could benefit from having more focus, having more clarity, having that. So can you just talk a little bit more about exactly what it is so that the average person can understand?
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, what the Trivedi Effect is, it's everything around us is the energy of creation. Is that what we call life force energy? And the beauty of the Trivedi Effect is it what it does is the person who's doing it, like myself, or of course our beloved Guruji, they have the ability to harness that energy and then transmit it. And then for us as people, it really optimizes our potential. So it deepens and enhances our connection with the divine, the God of our understanding, our connection with the Creator. So more of that energy flows into us. We have that greater connection. So if you think of it as the internet, when we have a great connection with the internet, then we can do everything. But we all know what it's like. If your internet connection is spotty or you have no internet connection, that's it as far as business is concerned. You can't get on, you can't communicate, you can't do the things you want to do. It's frustrating. And it absolutely limits you. So the key here is that somebody like me, I'm like a hotspot for the internet for my clients. That's kind of like I am. So when I work with them, I'm able to connect them just like a hotspot to the internet, the divine, the creator, and then they're able to have that connection. One of the things that a lot of people find, particularly in business, it's easy to lose that momentum, that juice, that passion. The Trivedi Effect helps us really connect with, our spirit connect with the Creator. And so it gives us that feeling of I'm connected. It gives us more of a sense of a feeling of what our true purpose is and helps us to envision what our purpose is. And instead of feeling disconnected or lost or so caught up in the business, we then realize, you know what, I'm making a difference, because nobody goes into business thinking, oh, I'm in the business of making money. Yeah, yes, of course, that's a side effect. We all want to be making money. But ultimately, if you look at the vision, the mission, the purpose of the business, it's to have some type of impact, some type of powerful impact on whoever the target audience is or the target market. So in most cases, we're wanting to have a very powerful and positive impact. And in order to do that, you have to have that vision very clear. You have to have that mission very clear. And the Trivedi Effect helps us to support us in having that through that whole thing. And, even from my own experience from getting these amazing blessings or energy transmissions from Guruji, which I've been very blessed. I've been getting those for the last 7 years. It has helped me so much. And even though I've gone through incredible difficulties over, there's been a lot of amazing times, but I have gone through a lot of difficult times with, losing family members and several other things, moving, changing professions, so many different things. And that can really, make you stuck. But this energy just pushes you. It's a little bit like you've got somebody holding or cradling you. And literally, when you have that feeling or that experience, then it's like, okay, I might have to do the work, I might not like this, but you feel held. And that to me is probably the most powerful thing about the Trivedi Effect. It gives you that connection, and then that feeling that, okay, no matter what, I'm held, I'm protected, I can move forward. And that boosts your confidence. That helps you to be more fearless, more courageous in some of your business steps. Because sometimes, again, we're not sure, should I do this? Should I do that? And this is, you know what? Go for it. If you fail, what does it matter? If you fail at something, that's how you learn. That's how you move forward. That's how you get to be successful. No great, if you look at some of the top business people in the world, whether you're looking at a Warren Buffett or a Richard Branson or a Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, some of these people, Jeff Bezos, all of these people, they all made mistakes. But they all got up again and they kept on moving forward because they had that one-pointed vision. And that's something that this really helps support you with. It also helps you feeling kind of fulfilled and satisfied. And that's another really important thing that the Trivedi Effect does. It gives us that feeling. It helps us to be more productive. That's something is very, very important. Again, in business, it's very easy to go, oh, I'll do some social media thing, I'll do this, I'll do that, and get sidetracked. And Guruji talks about ADD, ADHD. That doesn't help you. Having that plan, then being productive, being effective and efficient, this really helps you to do that. So again, as the entrepreneur, the leader in your business, you are there doing that, you're achieving that, then you set the example for your team, and of course then the whole thing snowballs.
So you've talked a lot about all of the positive things, and I can see that, and I understand what you mean now by the ripple effect, because as a business person, if you're doing something very positive and it ripples out to all the people, not only your coworkers or your employees or other people, but all of that works. Now, you have something that's very special because Guruji Mahendra Trivedi, he actually did more than 4,000 experiments that have been in all of these scientifically peer-reviewed journals. And I understand that you also have had your innate abilities scientifically validated. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So one of the things that Guruji has done for himself, and so graciously done for us that were part of his Healer's Mastery program, is science. Why? Because when you look in the world of business and you look at journals and social media, you can say anything and you can hope, expect, whatever you like, that this is really the truth. In most cases, it's not. The beauty about science is science you cannot fake. Science you cannot fudge or manipulate. The thing with science is it shows you the facts and the actual outcome. So Guruji was very vigilant, like you said. He did over 4,000, or he has done over 4,000 research studies. Why? Because it shows that this is an incredible phenomenon. Not only that, it's an incredible phenomenon across multiple platforms in science, so that we can see that it's replicated in a number of different areas, and that shows how powerful this Trivedi Effect is. Now, for us, I've been very blessed. I got to do several experiments, and now I have 12 papers published in peer-reviewed journals, which is amazing. I mean, for somebody like me to be able to do this, only through the grace of Guruji would somebody like me ever be able to do the science. But because of this, now I can say, here are the results from the science, and here are the key factors or the key findings from the science. And then this is how this can this could help you, or this might help you. And because of doing the science, I can say, this is what science shows. So, for example, some of the key findings are it shows things like it boosts 100% or over 100, actually over 110% boost to our immunity, over a 90% reduction in stress, over a 90% reduction in inflammation. Now, those things alone, when you think about health and wellness, when you think about mental health, when you think about emotional health, those key things are vital when looking at how we are as a human being, but also how we perform. The thing with business is not just, okay, you go there and you go out and you have a business, but it's about who you are as a human being, the performance, the health, the vitality. If you're healthier, if you have greater vitality, you've got greater enthusiasm, you think differently, your behavior is different, and you're automatically going to bring more of that success into your life. And that's the other thing. And the great thing about that sets us apart from other healers is the fact that we have this science. So we can very confidently say, and this is self-confidence, we can say we've got science that authenticates, that validates, that verifies this is the impact. Not only this is the impact, but here specifically is where the impact is. One of the other key findings was that there's a 95% improvement in heart health. Now, that's one of the major organs of the body. When we go through grief, stress, or sadness, that can, research actually shows that impacts our heart health. So again, the Trivedi Effect is showing that this amazing phenomena can help us even when we're going through those type of difficulties. And it helps support our health, which means that we can traverse these difficulties in our life and, of course, overcome them when we're having to deal with difficult times in business.
That's really phenomenal, the fact that you're scientifically validated, because that is something that most people who talk about energy, they talk about different protocols, different modalities, different religions. And that's another question. And I know we're talking about business, but even business people, they want to know, is this, does this have anything to do with religion at all? And can you explain that a little bit more about how this life force energy works?
Yeah. So the beauty of this is it is not based upon whatever religion you are, no matter what you believe. The beauty of this is we all know that there is a creator. There is a God of our understanding. So whoever you are, whatever the God of your understanding is for you, then that's what you are experiencing. So there is no set thing. This is for everybody, regardless of what their beliefs are, what their religious beliefs are, or what religion they belong to, what culture they belong to, where in the world they come from, what social standing they have. This is divine energy. This is divine grace, and this is something that boosts all of us. This is, like I said, this is the energy of creation, that which has created us. So that which creates all matter in the universe. So regardless of what you believe, that's fine. You can still have the beliefs that you have. This is at that very deep, most fundamental level.
That is very phenomenal, and thank you for explaining that, because I know a lot of people, they're always really curious about that. And I mean, I've had interesting conversations just on, what is your understanding? And so that's very phenomenal. So the Trivedi Effect can help no matter in what area of your life that you're seeking help, because it's an intelligent energy. Am I reading that correctly?
Absolutely. It's a highly intelligent energy. I mean, all you have to do is look at nature around us. There is nothing in nature around us that is not done in the most incredible way. the most intelligent way, the most efficient way, the path of least resistance. Everything is done in a way that is of supreme, immaculate, if you like, performance in a way of doing it. There is nothing around us that is a mistake. There is nothing that, if you look at everything coordinates, everything works. If you look at our human body, every single cell, every atom is connected, it is coordinated. We have biofeedback loops that all talk to each other and make sure that we as a walking universe, as a walking organism, everything talks to each other, works in coherence with each other so that we are vital, healthy, and alive. And the same thing, the whole universe is alive with this energy. So that is something that absolutely is there, and it continues and it goes on.
Great. So can you tell me, if somebody wants to contact you, get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Okay. So the best way, of course, they can go to my website, which is DeziKoster.com. They can email me directly, Dezi@DeziKoster.com, or they can phone me. My number is on the website, but it is 707-702-3394, so they can contact me that way. Yeah.
So, Dezi, before I let you go, is there any last thing you'd like to mention about you or the Trivedi Effect?
Can I share one more short little story? So this is somebody that I work with, and this was also the self-confidence thing. And I'm going to kind of compare two people. A client I worked with a little while ago, it was a few years ago, she was saying, I hate the way I look, I hate this, I hate that. And I said, okay, well, how's that impacting you? And she said, oh, nothing, I'm fine. And I went, really? I said, I don't believe you. So I started digging around a bit, and what I found was, because she really lacked in this self-confidence, she would make business appointments, she would not attend them. She would just simply not show up. And I said, my God, do you realize what that's costing you? So I started, writing down figures. What do you charge? What's this? What's that? And we started working out, how many would you do a week? How many of these, would you normally charge? What would be the cost per week, per month, blah, blah, blah. It was costing her $1 million. I kid you not. And she was shocked, I was shocked. And I said, so you're being fine. How's that working out for you? Realizing that because you're lacking in this confidence, you don't want to meet people face to face. Look what you're losing. Not only that, I said, and how's your relationships going? And for her, because you're talking about relationships, and this is, again, where Trivedi Effect really helps boost us. She said, well, actually, my husband has said to me, if I don't do anything about this, because they were intimate, she was pushing him away, she said, he's going to divorce me, and he's going to give me the divorce papers. And I said, okay, so this is really costing you big time. So we can see when we lack something like self-confidence, that's a huge, huge effect. That's a huge impact. Now imagine by bringing in that Trivedi Effect, now she feels confident. She's excited to go to her meetings. She's excited to spend quality time with her husband because she loves the way she looks. It doesn't matter. It's not about being perfect. It's not about you've got to look like some model. It's not that at all. The beauty of the Trivedi Effect is that divine radiance shines through you. People can see it. It's on your face. It's not just this makeup. It's not just skin deep. It's what shines from you, your inner being. It gives you that glow. And when you have that, you are unstoppable. And that's key. And the last thing I want to mention is one of my clients that I work with that ripple effect. This was when I was doing my business consulting and everything. In the year, one of the first year that I worked with him, he went from 22 million to 40 million in his business. I mean, how beautiful is that? And that's that confidence, that focus, that discernment, that passion for doing what you love and to really make a difference in this world, really being focused on what your mission is, your vision, and taking it to the next level. So that is definitely something that Trivedi Effect can help you with.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dezi. That it is really exciting to hear about all of those wonderful success stories and to learn more about you and the Trivedi Effect, and of course, how this life force energy is working in our lives and can actually work in your lives to help you create a very positive, enhanced way of life and just help you with everything. So everyone, with that, remember it's DeziKoster.com. You can contact Dezi there, learn all about the science, learn more about Dezi and how she can work with you. So this is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
You've been listening to today's top health and wellness innovators and thought leaders on Optimal Health Radio. To get more solid health and wellness information, visit OptimalHealthRadio.com.